We will, by my 100th day in office, have administered 200 million shots in people's arms. That's right, 200 million shots in 100 days. I know it's ambitious, twice our original goal, but no other country in the world has even come close, not even close.
Looking at this data, it speaks to a hunger for the American public of more information and wanting to be able to trust what's coming down from sort of the top level. But more broadly than that, kind of taking a step back, it really speaks to, I think, the lack of trust that Americans have in public institutions. We've seen over time that trust in institutions, especially the government, especially the federal government, has really started to decline over time. It's also something that has become incredibly polarized. So if you look at this data by partisans, you see an overwhelming majority of Democrats say that they feel okay with the amount of information that they're given, and majority of Republicans, on the other hand, say that they're not getting enough information. I can't help but to think, if we were talking about the previous administration, how this might be reversed at the partisan level. I have to wonder how much of this is actually filtering into our collective consciousness. I hear the criticisms about the fact that the president hasn't held a press briefing yet. I know there's one forthcoming, but ultimately, I'm looking at several other measures of public opinion that have stayed pretty steady over time and have stayed positive for the president. I look at his approval rating, which has been consistently in the mid 50% range and net positive since before he took office. I look at our Axios Ipsos coronavirus index, which examines trust in the federal government for providing you with accurate information about the coronavirus. And that too tracks really closely with President Biden's approval rating in the mid 50% range. So what those indicators tell me is that generally there is a level of trust in the president still. There is a sense of goodwill. A majority of Americans approve of the job he's doing. And ultimately, I'm not quite sure if when he has a press briefing or whether he has a press briefing is really something that's going to move the needle on some of these bigger indicators. The president has focused a lot on unity and being a president for all Americans. His entire inaugural address was about the divisions in this country. He is well aware of the deep partisan divide that's going on here, the deep divide based on where you get your news from, what you believe in, and just the tribalism that has permeated all facets of our society. But at the end of the day, those divisions are still there, regardless of what he's saying. So I think, again, it sort of boils down to perceptions of him and of the office, and we are seeing that consistently a pretty stark partisan divide here, and that that extends to, say, Fox News viewers versus MSNBC and CNN viewers, however you want to look at it. I think people are ultimately going to believe what they want, and again, I'm not sure if holding a press briefing this week is necessarily going to change any of that, because we have seen such stability in his approval rating and in other indicators thus far.